In a land cracked by drought and emptied by war, in a time when food was scarce and hope scarcer still, there was a man, not a warrior, not a king, but a prophet named Elisha. Elisha had inherited the mantle of Elijah, and with it, the fire of heaven burned in his soul. He walked not in the palaces of power, but among the hungry, the broken, the forgotten. And on this day, this story, we find him in a small town called Gilgal. It is the time of famine, and famine has a sound. The groan of empty stomachs, the crackle of dry soil, and the quiet prayers whispered by men too weak to speak aloud. Elisha had gathered with the sons of the prophets, young men devoted to learning the ways of God. They looked to him as a teacher, a father, a holy man whose words could call forth miracles. But today, even Elisha felt the weight of need. In the shade of a crumbling house they sat, 20, perhaps more, tired, thin, yet still, listening. Elisha stood among them. His voice was steady, but his eyes scanned the horizon. "Put on the large pot," he said, "and boil stew for the sons of the prophets." It was an act of faith, cooking food they did not yet have. But when Elisha spoke, men moved. One of the young men took up a basket and wandered into the fields. He searched for anything that could fill the pot. His feet carried him further than he'd gone before, to the edge of a dry ravine, where thorn bushes grew and tangled vines crept like snakes. And there, among the scrub, he saw them, wild gourds, plump, bright, strange. He had never seen their kind before. But hunger makes fools of the wise. He picked until his basket was full, shredded the gourds, and tossed them into the pot. The stew bubbled and steamed. The prophets gathered close, each man cradling a bowl with trembling hands. They ate quickly, desperately. Then, a cry. A man staggered backward, dropping his bowl. "There is death in the pot, O man of God!" Faces turned pale, chests clenched. Some fell to the ground, clutching their stomachs. The stew, meant to sustain, had turned into poison. Terror swept through the gathering like wildfire. Even Elisha felt the chill of it. But the prophet did not panic. He prayed, and then he moved. Elisha stepped to the pot. He called for flour, just a handful. What could flour do against poison? What strength did grain hold against death? But Elisha did not act by reason. He acted by faith. He took the flour and cast it into the pot. No spell, no chant, no thunder from heaven. Just faith and obedience. He turned to the men. "Pour it out for the people that they may eat." They hesitated, but one, then another, tasted. Eyes widened, breath returned. Color came back to pale cheeks. There is nothing harmful in the pot. It was not just stew that was saved that day, it was trust, it was hope. Elisha's miracle reminded them that even when the world offers poison, God provides healing. Even when there is nothing, God makes something. The flour was not magic. It was faith made visible, a reminder that small, simple acts done in obedience can carry heaven's power. And so the stew was eaten, not just with spoons, but with tears of gratitude. The sons of the prophets ate their fill, not just of food, but of faith. Maybe you've tasted bitterness. Maybe the world has handed you something that looked like life, but turned to poison in your soul. This story is for you, because the God who healed the stew in Gilgal is still healing hearts today. He takes what is broken, what is bitter, what is deadly, and with a touch of grace, he makes it whole. So the next time you feel empty, remember Elisha, remember the pot, remember the flour, and trust that God is still the God who provides. Subscribe to Bible Stories 1989 for more powerful cinematic retellings of Scripture. Hit the bell to be notified when new stories drop. Tell us in the comments, What miracle has God done in your life?